Well, hello, Melindas! Welcome to VCR Party Live.
Yes. Hi.
By the way, somebody brought up on the comments last week that we should make Hello Melinda mugs.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't know what that is, on the Elliot Glazer episode, we showed a clip of Nick Nolte from 48 Hours, but not the movie 48 Hours, from the CBS News magazine. Yeah. And he walks into a nurse's office that's enabling his weird health things and says, hello, Melinda.
And I actually found the full version of that recently. I was digging through some tapes and I found the full version of that 48 episodes, or 48 hours episode. And we should...
Watch the whole thing?
Watch the whole thing. I'm thinking, you had me thinking, we were talking about doing like a year-end special of some sort. Like that could be part of the year-end special. We look back and...
Yeah.
And yeah, that'd be good for that.
Well, what I was going to ask is that if anybody is a graphic designer or an artist, if they want to take that, we can send you the still of the Nick Nolte image of him saying hello, Melinda, and if you could kind of make that into an icon or some line art,
sure,
we'll put it on a mug, and then we'll have hello, Melinda.
Yeah, do our work for us.
That's what we're asking.
Yes.
Well, I guess you'll get the pride of having created a mug in return.
A Nick Nolte-related mug.
Yeah.
It's every graphic designer's dream.
Welcome to the show. I'm Nick, this is Joe, and we are from the Found Footage Festival. We're trying to watch our entire VHS collection with you, and we've been doing something called Found Footage Festival's Classics to start off the show.
Yep, let's kick it off with, what are we watching today? We're watching Mr. T?
Yeah, I got Mr. T's.
What inspired you to play Mr. T today? Is he like in the hospital or something? Or
No, he's fine. I don't want to alarm anyone watching at home. Mr. T's fine. I was just kind of looking back at early... clips, and we used to have something called Music Montage, which was like a 7-minute thing, and it played a lot of Mr. T from this video, which is one of the first ones we found.
Right. No, I remember we watched this in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it at the Blockbuster Video in Madison, Wisconsin on State Street. It was in the $2 bin, and I couldn't believe I hadn't seen it before. So yeah, we took this home and watched it.
But this is also probably like 1995, 1994. I mean, high school, we graduated in 94, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was like a very early find.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah.
But the fact that that Blockbuster had that in a bargain bin,
right,
was like...
Because it's from the 80s. This would have been in the like free, special interest rental thing, because it was educational. So many people have probably seen some clips from this. I just picked one clip that I particularly liked from it. It was an educational video with kids starring Mr. T. And we were talking about this on our drive this weekend. We were in Arlington and Raleigh last weekend, and I was saying that I never watched the A-Team, but I somehow still loved Mr. T.
Yeah.
He was just in the ether, I guess.
Yeah, didn't he have a cartoon too or something?
Yeah, he had a cartoon and a serial.
And he was on Rocky, and he was just kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
And he was cool.
He was cool. That's all I knew about him, I think. But I had a TV tray that had Mr. T, and here he is teaching about how to recoup from public embarrassment.
He had a cereal too.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Be somebody.
I think it's just called Mr. T cereal.
I think they're called like...
Recouping.
They're in the shape of T's, though.
Yeah.
Oh, hi there. I'm Dr. T. Have you ever been embarrassed, ashamed, or exposed? I mean, done something so absolutely ludicrous that you wish you could have moved to a deserted island and hide your head in the sand?
Absolutely.
I mean,
that's
check this out.
Classic.
That's the best.
The cruelest man on earth.
Now, how can that little brother recoup? Let's run that again.
Look at that. And now he thinks it's cool, and comeuppance. I love that character actor.
Is that recouping or is that recouping? So the next time you find yourself in an absolute ludicrous situation,
Mr. T.
Don't go hide your head in the sand.
Mr. T, your...
Recoup instead.
Your pants.
Watch that. Look at how he's recouping. He forgot pants, but he's not letting them stop it.
Is that recouping or is that recouping?
Yeah, that is.
1 out of 1 Dr. T's recommended.
Be somebody.
Shtick.
Oh,
so that's
good. So Treat Your Mother Right's on that too,
Treat
right?
Your Mother Right.
That's a classic.
Yeah,
that is one of the greatest songs.
And there's a lot of songs where he raps in it. There's one about lifting a boombox to get in shape. There's a fat kid who reminds me a lot of myself at that age. There's just a lot going on in this video, and the video's
So you're
way
allowed
too
to call
long.
you're allowed to call fat kids because you're a former fat kid, right?
Yeah. It's that's how it works.
Do you think if you stopped being a vegan that you would go back to being a fat kid? If you went back to eating how you ate when you were a fat kid?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we had an entire fridge that was... We had 2 fridges full of different sodas. And I think I had like 4 Mountain Dews a day at my peak. We had Orange Crush, A&W Root Beer, Mountain Dew, and some cola of some sort.
I remember you guys had the best cereal collection. Like,
Oh,
you guys just
we had Mr. T cereal. I mean...
You guys had a library of like the Dewey Decimal System with cereals.
Now when I go back to see my parents, they still buy the same amount of cereal. So we've got probably a dozen boxes in the pantry, but they're all stale and only half eaten because there's no kids in the house anymore. They haven't adapted to it yet. So.
Are your parents cereal eaters?
Yeah,
Okay.
they definitely love cereal.
Yeah.
But, you know, they just have dozens of different kinds. They like the variety, but then they just go stale. So I come in and I'm like, oh, cool, Smart Balance. No, not Smart Balance, that's the margarine. What's that Smart cereal?
Smart Grains. I don't know.
It seems healthy, but it's all sugar. Anyway, I'll get that, and it's just...
Honey Bunches of Oats. That one always seemed healthy, but it was just full of sugar.
Yeah, they have cereals like that now, but no more Cookie Crisp, no more Lucky Charms, no more Golden Grams, but stale.
So we were on our big tour last week, and we were in Arlington and Raleigh, and I talked to some more people who were VCR Party fans about Tedium Con, also known as Yawn Con.
Yawn Con.
But maybe it could be Yawn Con, C-A-W-N.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
A little cute.
We're workshopping it here.
Okay.
Anyway, came up with some ideas. So not only will we at Tedium Con, Yawn Con, not only are we going to show videos, but we're also going to have boring events. So I brought up the idea of having really boring speakers. And then this guy I was talking to said, you should have unmotivational speakers. And I thought
good
that
idea.
was brilliant.
Yeah.
So we'll have people who won't motivate you.
Just kind of tell you to don't strive for your goals. And
I had some other ideas like brochure reading, like a 2-hour brochure reading. Somebody will come up and read a bunch of brochures.
Okay.
Boring music, boring food. It'll be like bologna sandwiches and unsalted chips.
Oh yeah, unsalted. Yeah.
And then maybe like for dinner, it'll be like a cod and some mashed potatoes.
Cod's a little racy.
You
I
think
don't
so?
know. Yeah.
Have you ever
Seafood?
eaten cod?
Yeah, growing up.
It's like the blandest thing on earth. It's a whitefish bottom feeder.
Yeah, okay.
What are you thinking?
Well, I just think seafood's a little exotic. I mean, my dad wouldn't eat it if... well, maybe he'd eat fried cod if his beer battered, but I don't know. I'm
still workshopping.
Yeah,
so if you guys have any ideas
plain
for
Triscuits.
And I'm thinking, I'm shooting for, I want to do like, I'm trying to think of a really boring date, but I don't know if that exists.
Well, it could be like on a Tuesday, you know? I don't know.
Tuesdays are boring.
But anyway, I'm thinking... For the uninitiated, this is based on Joe's Tedium Corner, which has taken the world by storm.
Yeah. And I feel like there should be an annual event now where it's just all boring shit. Like just a weekend of, we're going to have it here in New York. I already have the bar in mind.
Oh, okay.
Where I want to have it. And then we rent out the whole back room for the entire weekend and we just do boring shit in there.
Well, I'd like to have a Nick's Excitement corner in a physical corner of the bar so that if people get too bored by the brochure reading or the...
Yeah, I mean, as long as you keep it down.
Okay. Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to disturb the Borecore attendees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm on board for that.
Okay. What are some other announcements? Oh, so here's the thing. I was thinking that we discontinue the Church of Chris. You know, we've been doing the Church of Chris.
Yeah.
It's this video that we got from a friend of Mike Judge, and it's this guy talking about how he's Jesus Christ and how he's going to change the world. And it sounds good, but I don't know. We already have Tedium Corner, and there's a little bit too much tedium to it, and for some reason it felt wrong playing that one.
Well, we're chronicling a guy's madness, which is entertaining in a way, but yeah, I think a little went a long way.
I feel like that's something like if you come visit us at our office, we can play that one for you.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's retired, but we have a new one. I put together a graphic for a new one. It's called Public Access Deathbed.
Okay.
And roll the graphic.
There is nothing around me except decadence.
Yeah, so...
Decadence.
So
she was surrounded by decadence.
So last Thursday, we did, was it last Thursday? I can't remember. Maybe 2 weeks ago, we did a convention for public access people, for like people who like run public access stations and are managers of public access stations. And I was inspired.
We gave a talk at it.
We gave a talk at it, yeah, about like, chop and steal, like First Amendment stuff. But I was thinking while we were there, it was like, oh man, there's so much stuff, and we talked to so many people who had so much good stuff. It was like, man, we got to do a corner of this before it all dries up. I feel like
you said, well, man, we got to do a corner of this, as if a corner makes any. So we just call everything a corner now. Yeah, we got to do a corner of this.
Well, I know I should have called public access Death Corner or something.
Sure.
But anyway, public access is dying off, and I mean, it's going to be tough to save now that YouTube is here. But we might as well like watch as much as we can
before it's gone forever.
Before it's gone forever. So I'm going to pop this one in. This one's from Austin, Texas. This is a show. I don't know how long it was on for. It's called At Home with English.
Oh yeah, Greg.
Yeah, and it's this guy Greg. He's teaching people English as a second language on public access, and it's brilliant. And but there's a little bit of tedium to it. But the edit I put together, it moves along pretty decently.
Okay.
But
and Greg's very lovable, so I think people will like this.
Yeah. All right. So here it is, At Home with English.
Why is that little boy clinging to your leg?
He's scared.
Does he often cling to your leg?
Yes, he does. He's clung to my leg a lot in the last few days because his mother hasn't been home much recently, and he's afraid to be alone.
The man is giving a book to the woman.
Either he's tiny or she's enormous.
Yeah.
The short man eats chicken every day.
It's pretty good. It's like Charlie Chaplin-esque.
Yeah.
Stink, stunk.
What's wrong?
This milk stinks.
Pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, good physical comedian, actor.
Look at that. He's gonna hurt himself.
Help!
What's the matter?
I'm hanging from the roof.
So if somebody who didn't speak English as a first language was hanging from a roof, they would learn or how to say that the milk stinks, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay.
Stink, stunk.
That's a great public access show, and it's performing a public service, which is what public access is supposed to be about.
Exactly.
Which is great.
Yeah, and so maybe next week we'll do one where, it's just like straight up crazy, insane weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea for that segment. We've got a lot of public access footage.
I feel like it could be its own show. Like once we, really take off here, then we just do a spin-off show of just public access deathbed.
Yeah, we've got a lot of public access stuff. That could be our next corner.
Yep.
One thing I wanted to mention is when we were in Arlington on Friday, we did the show, and then somebody came up to us afterwards, and they were like, "Oh, you got to check out this place called Monarch Novelties." And he said there's not really much interesting in D.C. in terms of like weird, out of the way junk shops and places to find tapes and things like that. We said give it a shot. They're only open for like 2 hours a week, and. So I just gave it a shot. I drove from Arlington to Washington, D.C., and went to this place called Monarch Novelties. And it's in a kind of a hip, trendy area. And actually, Steve, there's a still photo on there of the exterior of what Monarch Novelties looks like. And you can see there's like inflatable things like footballs in the window. And there was a decoration for St. Patrick's Day and a clown. And it looked very bizarre. And then it had a handwritten sign in kind of shaky lettering that says, "Knock hard." So I knocked on the door, and this older man with a beard, kind of shaped like a bowling pin, came in. And the first thing he said is, "No photos."
He saw you, and he's just like, this looks like one of those assholes that's going to...
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like,
were you taking a photo when he showed up?
Of the outside of
okay.
the exterior photo that I showed. And I went in and I immediately wanted to take photos of this place because it hadn't changed since 1945.
Yeah.
It was just dusty boxes, no shelves, just dusty boxes of old political pins and carnival prizes.
Wow.
So like, like the little ducks that are in that duck game that have a number on the bottom.
Yeah.
And,
He had all those?
He had the ducks.
Oh.
And then they had, amongst the political pins, they just had pins of, like, basically it would seem like names from the 1950s. So they had a whole shoebox full of Barbaras. Just pins that said Barbara.
How did you pass up the Barbaras?
Well, I mean, I had to make a tough choice, and everything was overpriced. Like, he had a tapestry that said, full-color printed tapestries. It was a promotional item he'd gotten when they used to do printing. And I said, how much for that? And he goes, $100, that's firm, and it's as is. It's like, okay.
Was he ever friendly? Like, did you guys ever have a nice conversation about anything?
He was sort of Rain Man-y. I was very curious about how he's still in business, and so he answered every question. He'd be like, well, this neighborhood's changed a lot. Back when I used to live on 2121 K Street, like, he knew every address he had ever lived on or anybody he knew lived on.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I bought a couple of clown decorations, and then I saw a box full of Gary pins. And I was like...
There you go.
I was like, is there any way I could, buy a box of Gary pins? He goes, well, they're $1 a piece. And he said, there's probably 1,000 in there, so it'd be $1,000 for a shoebox full of Gary pins. I was probably the only customer in a year.
Do you have one to show off?
Yeah.
Is there...
Well...
you have the Gary pins here. Okay.
So this is I did not pay $1,000. I offered him $20.
Let's see if we can get it on this camera.
And
here.
he said he was feeling charitable, and so he would give me the box of Gary's for $20.
Oh, look at all those Garys.
And he did say that
$20?
Yeah. And he said if you reached in and got tetanus, that was on me, because these are not the safety pins. They stick out and they're rusty.
No, they do look pretty rusty.
Yeah.
And like pretty, I don't know if you can see
Yeah.
that there. Yeah. There's a lot of danger there.
So I'm going to bring, like, the next night in Arlington, I brought the Garys out and we gave them away for free, but I'd like to give out some Garys.
You have plenty of Garys to give away.
Yeah, we'll bring these to our shows.
I like how charitable you are with your Garys. You're not just holding them all for yourself.
Yeah, I'm sort of magnanimous that way when it comes to Gary's. But yeah, we're going to be on tour in, where are we next? Oh, we're in Brooklyn on a Thursday. We're doing a Halloween show.
Yeah, then we're going to be in Madison and where else?
Minneapolis.
Oh, Minneapolis. Yeah, we just added a second show to our Minneapolis show.
And,
our first one sold out. So.
And in Milwaukee on Thanksgiving. And we'll bring them there, but we'll give away a few Garys tonight.
Yeah,
if you
let's
want
give
to.
away,
Okay.
You want to give away 2 Garys?
Let's give away 2 Garys. We'll send a pin to you. And again, you're at your own risk with tetanus.
Okay. Oh, this one's from Canada. Look at this one. This is a cool one. Look at all that. Stickers and everything.
Okay.
And once you know it, what's the color?
Oh, pastel.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
All right, you got one?
I got one too. This is Paul Nelson from Bothell, Washington. Okay. And you've won yourself a Rusty Gary. And I'll drop that in the mail.
They could be called Rusty Garys. Yes. All right, this person said Dixie Tommy as a toodler. Hi, Joe. Hi, Nick. This is Hayden and Kiara. Kiara from Toronto.
Congratulations.
Sweet. It says record over and die at the back.
Great. Nice reference.
Good reference, yes. All right, 2 Rusty Garys going out in the mail this week. we got to go back and get some Rusty Barbaras.
All right. Well, yeah, we can.
A Gary and Barbara set, like send people a Gary and a Barbara.
You just got to sweet talk him because he was a little surly.
Yeah.
We did want to mention that next week on VCR Party, we're doing a special Halloween spectacular. We'll have some spooky lighting in here, maybe a jack-o'-lantern. It'll be good.
Yep.
We got some big plans for that and a lot of Halloween-related videos, so we're excited for that.
Yep.
Should we do show and tell?
Let's do show and tell.
Okay, moving on.
We got a graphic? We got a
showing and telling. Should I go first or you?
How many are you showing? You showing like 4?
No, I got 3.
You got 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you go first?
Okay. So when we were in the car driving back from Raleigh, it was like 9 hours in the car, and for some reason, when I was on that same trip to Arlington, I went to a Goodwill, and I heard the song, the MC Hammer song, Adam's Groove, which was for the Addams Family movie.
I'd never heard that song before.
Really?
I missed that one completely. And I loved rap music. I still do, but all through high school I listened to rap music, but I didn't listen to MC Hammer.
Well, this MC Hammer was my first CD I ever bought with my own money. And when Adam's Groove came out, I loved it. It was like, if you don't remember it, it's they do what they want to do, say what they want to say, live how they want to live, play how they want to play, dance how they want to dance, kick and they slap a friend, the Addams Family.
Oh, that's
so
pretty.
he's kind of singing, he's kind of rapping to the Addams Family theme song.
Yeah.
It's really dumb, and I couldn't get it out of my head. It's still in my head. I woke up with it in my head today. I'm sorry if I've passed that along to you, but it got me curious about MC Hammer because we listened to some on the ride back from Raleigh, and it was all forgettable.
Oh.
None of it was good.
We lasted like 30 seconds on every single song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he just had good samples. Like, You Can't Touch This was like the best sample you can have, and I think that's what.
Yeah, but they're
propelled
all
him.
from songs that were already really
I know.
popular.
And the other thing I talked about is how in the song "Have You Seen Her," how I did not understand what this one lyric was, and I debated it with my friends, and I pulled a little bit from the video of that lyric. So let's listen.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
great.
We'll do that first, then I'll play something else.
At the track, at the club, or out buying dubs. If you seen them,
Okay.
Rewind it again.
So that's it. Let me play
Rewind it
once
again.
more, and you tell me what the last thing he says is.
Hold on 1 second, guys. We lost that.
Yo, Bill.
Did we?
Yeah.
That's your phone, right?
No, isn't that what it?
It froze.
Oh, it froze?
Are we back on?
So you guys just want to talk for 1 second?
Yeah, yeah.
Try to get it back on.
Okay.
Well, let's
So
deconstruct the lyric.
Yeah, and maybe you can just hear the song here.
At the track, at the club, or out buying dubs. If you seen them, then I'll help.
Okay. Did you know what that was?
Well, when we played it the other day, I thought it was at the track or the club or out buying Dove.
Right.
Like Dove soap.
Right. That's what I thought it was too. So he's at the track or at the club, that he goes and buys some Dove brand soap. It doesn't make any sense. And
I
then,
wonder if maybe he was, because he was kind of a shill, I think. Maybe he was getting some kickbacks from Dove.
from Dove?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know, and then somebody said, no, it's out by a Dove. So he's just hanging out, and there's a Dove there. It's a song. It's a love song, so
Yeah.
it's like he's just hanging out by a Dove.
Oh, okay. But maybe it's like at the club or the, what was it?
At the track,
or
at the club,
So those are two like dirty things.
or out by a Dove. Oh, by
And then
a
it's
Dove?
like, no. There's two like dirty, like naughty things. Like clubs are like dirty and naughty,
Yeah.
and then tracks are dirty and naughty.
Yeah.
But then by a dove is the opposite of that. It's like
Right.
a beautiful thing.
And-
That's what everybody strives for. Like
Yeah,
to,
I guess. But then I saw in the video, maybe you saw this before our camera froze up, but he goes like this, out buying Dove.
oh.
Like this, he's making like the money sound, like buying stuff.
Oh.
And then he says, have you seen her? Now, can somebody explain what it is? I looked online and they said out buying dub, like maybe the music dub. Like
No.
But that makes even less sense, right? At the track, at the club, we're out buying dub. Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't make sense.
All right.
Doves makes more sense.
Well, somebody
Are
explain that.
you, do you need me to move this camera around?
Just pin it a little bit right.
Okay. So we lost our camera that points at our TV. This kind of seeing how the sausage is made here. It's normally such a polished production.
Right there. We'll just go from there. It'll be a little bit off, but it'll be fine.
Okay.
So anyway, if anybody knows what that lyric is, or Hammer, if you're watching,
Yeah.
first of all, please don't hurt him.
Please, Hammer. Please, Hammer,
Show
don't
some
hurt him.
restraint.
All right, what do you got next?
Okay, so this is a documentary about a movie that MC Hammer directed, my point in playing this is that it has a white British director for the movie that is like a parody that you'd see in like the movie CB4 or something of a white director directing a rap video.
Okay.
That's him in the background. The director.
Okay, how?
This is a movie that I wrote myself. I wrote it based on the activities and the events that happened in my life, but not necessarily a documentary, just through experience. The church scene has evolved from being a member of a church and seeing different things happen in the church.
In this particular movie, we want people to be horrified by the death of two children caught up in an accidental death.
The movie is coming along real well. We in it to win it.
Whoa.
I think this move is a good idea.
Okay, so when that music goes, carry on moving like you're having fun, but be absolutely silent.
Let's make it smooth.
You know, I'm a producer, writer, man.
Oh, the reason I included this, the part, so they didn't do a retake. There's clearly some sound bleeding through. It's going to sound like I added sound effects to this interview. I did not.
Okay.
And when I say writer, songwriter, script writer, you know, writing movie or producing the songs, all come from being an inner city person. You had to be versatile.
The phone rang. This is
What
the
a
movie.
Oh, what is this movie?
I think it's
The
a
street sense that I have is a part of me that was developed through my youth, and the educational parts come through, you know, my going to school and on-job experience.
Poor
One of the things
Hammer.
that's fascinating about this is that in the best possible use of the term, it's a very
Look at how he's sitting.
Yeah, this guy knows about inner city.
Yeah,
news.
yeah. He's real Oakland. Look at him with his little
If that light,
viewfinder.
that energy, and that enthusiasm comes through, then I think that's part of what I was trying to get across.
Oh, Oaktown. Yeah, it's good to be home. Yeah.
That's part of the movie. All right, so that's the making of.
We got to track that
MC
one
Hammer's.
down.
Yeah,
I had no idea that even existed.
I didn't either, and I think it might be similar to like when John Landis did like Thriller and made it kind of like a 40-minute thing.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, he's now got the capital to make his own movie based on his songs. I think that's what it was.
Well, that's Vanilla Ice was the same way too. Vanilla Ice had his own movie, and
yeah.
Cool,
So
cool as
I don't know
ice.
what that movie is, but Hammer wrote it, so I want to
let's
see
look it up. All right, I got this one. I decided to put this one. It's called Professional Bunting Techniques and Strategies, and it's one of the most boring covers of all time.
Oh yeah, who would buy that?
Dude, at least have somebody on the cover bunting. It's just a building. It's a sketch of a building.
You know what else is boring is the back. It's a letter. It's a letter, and it says "Best wishes," and it's not even a person's name. It's staff at Baseball World. At least just put somebody's name on there. All right.
Okay, so the World Series is starting tonight, and Steve's team, the Boston Red Sox, are in the World Series, and he's missing the game right now. So I decided I'd maybe play this bunting video.
Oh, that's
nice.
nice.
I think that would scratch the itch,
Yeah,
right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I think that it's basically like watching the World Series here. So, Steve, this one's for you.
You gave a thumbs up.
This is... Okay.
Congratulations, and thank you for purchasing Baseball World's instructional video, Professional Bunting Techniques and Strategies. A revolutionary new video featuring professional scouts and instructors Tommy
It's where you
Mansky
don't hit it
and
all the
Sean
way.
Pender.
You just put your bat out like that.
Coach Mansky has overseen the tremendous growth and development in the Baseball World program for the past 15 years and is widely recognized as a baseball innovator.
Catch the excitement.
Coach Pender
Catch
was an
the
NCAA collegiate All-American
Cool.
baseball.
He's actually really good at
He's
bunting.
also played professionally
Is he?
with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
He is.
His
I mean,
specialties
this is
were
hard to.
base
You
running
played baseball.
and
It is
the
hard to
bunting
bunt,
game.
right?
It's no fun to
Throughout
bunt.
this
Yeah, it's
unique
not
and
fun
important
either.
instructional video,
But look at it.
you'll
I
discover
watched that whole
stayed
thing.
in the-
He nails it in the
techniques.
basket every single time.
Wow.
Let's begin as Coach Mansky.
All right, so we're not going to watch the sacrifice bunt. That would be too exciting.
No. Wow, that is pretty great. I feel like
Did
I
that
don't need
work
to
for
watch
you,
the
Steve?
World Series.
Okay.
Really, scratch the itch.
Yeah.
Well, let me keep it on the baseball tip here with a video that actually we got from Scarecrow Video. Our friends at Scarecrow Video in Seattle had this in their library. I made a dub of it. It's called Chickenomics. And just the name caught my attention, Chickenomics.
Okay.
I didn't know what it was, but maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'll say it stars the San Diego Chicken.
Oh, yeah?
And
nice.
it is a...
Steve, again.
It's a legit educational video about economics starring the San Diego Chicken.
Oh, man. I feel like the San Diego Chicken was the most popular baseball player in the 80s.
Did you ever see him?
Not live, no.
I went to a local, Madison, Wisconsin had a minor league team, and went to see when the Chicken, on Chicken Night, and I stood in line to get his autograph. And I remember the funniest thing is he took the hat of the opposing team and wiped his ass with it.
Oh.
And I just thought it was the
Like
funniest.
actually?
Yeah, actually got a lot of chicken shit off of. But then afterwards, yeah, and I had this signed photo in my room that said the famous chicken on it.
But all they probably did is just mail the costume to Madison. There's no way they flew the actual San Diego.
Well, based on what they said, they might have franchised it out, but there was one original chicken, and he was legitimately funny and was a sensation.
And he was an actual chicken.
Yeah, he was an actual chicken. So here's Chickenomics.
Obtain jobs,
Let me
food.
just get it to the beginning here.
Yeah, we don't want to miss that first line.
No.
All affected by the economy.
We're all affected
from
by
which
the
we
economy.
obtain jobs, food, clothing, shelter, and recreation. Therefore, if we intend to benefit from the economy, we should understand it. However, an economy is sometimes hard to understand. Chickens are easier. So the chicken is going to help make the economy more interesting and understandable.
A foul approach to economics.
That's a good one.
The chicken's greatest asset is his specialized use of available labor resources. He began by doing light physical work only, signing autographs and walking around at sports events advertising the radio station's call letters. The chicken then added another type of labor resource, imagination, and he began to develop comedy routines like this one. Acting
gives
out
the plays to the
routines
other
like
team.
this represented a risk to the chicken's mascot career. He had been safe just walking around in his costume,
Do you think they got
but had the
genuinely annoyed by
spectators
him?
not
I
found the
bet,
chicken's
yeah.
new
He would
routines
mess
entertaining,
with the
he would
umpires,
have failed. Risk-taking is important in our economic system. Other entertainers are trying to provide the same service
Now look at these other
a lower
mascots.
price.
They talk about
So
how
the
other people
chicken
copied him
can't
afterwards,
rest
and he
on
had to
his
keep
feathers.
innovating his act.
The chicken was the first professional sports mascot of his kind. The demand for his services increased
Now,
when he added
how many
humor
of these
to
other
his act.
mascots have you heard of that they copied the chicken?
When the financial rewards became substantial, mascots of all descriptions began appearing on the sports scene.
Chester Charge
If the chicken
and the
were to
Astros?
become boring or repetitious, other entertainers would be ready to
The
step
Fenway
in
Freak?
and take
How
his
about him?
place.
No? The Bleacher Creature, I feel like I've heard of
I've heard of
him.
Bleacher
Each
Creature.
person who finds
The
work
Cleveland
will face
Creature
competition.
seems like a completely
Each of
derivative.
us must try to improve our
Parrot?
work and provide a valuable service to employers or consumers.
Youpie.
Because a
He looks familiar.
competitor
Really?
is
Well, it
always
sort of looks
ready
like the
to
Philly
step into our
Fanatic.
job.
Fred Bird.
Lessons are there in the story
Yeah.
of the
So anyway, that's Chickenomics.
First of all,
It keeps going, but it's
in this
actually like
economy,
fairly
Is
informational.
it supposed to be for kids, I assume? Like, are
Uh,
kids supposed to watch this because the chicken's in this?
Well, it's too boring to be for kids, and adults don't really need a chicken, so I don't really know who it's for. But the title got me, and it was, I don't know, I actually watched the whole thing today, so Chickenomics.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched Chickenomics.
Was it actually interesting?
I learned a lot from it, yeah.
Okay. You need it's intended for you then. You
I
need
guess
a
so.
chicken.
I'm the target audience. I
Yeah.
needed a chicken to get me interested in it.
All right, next one. So we talked about this last weekend because we did our After Dark show, and our After Dark show has Jack Rebney on there. It's our classic, like the video that we played in Volume 1. It's one of the ones that started it all. If you haven't seen Jack Rebney, it's we got it from people, from a camera assistant who actually worked on the job for this Winnebago RV promotional video. And this guy, Jack Rebney, he was the host, and he had a horrible temper, and they recorded everything. It was really hot out. There were flies out. It was a horrible day, horrible 2 weeks, and they recorded everything. They never hit pause or stop. They recorded everything, and they captured this man's descent into madness. And there's millions and millions of views on YouTube. There's a documentary about it called Winnebago Man.
Like we did our cut from the raw footage, and then there's
Yeah.
another cut going around the internet that got really big.
Yep.
And I'm always surprised when we play this at shows today that people haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So it was like viral in the early days of the internet, and then that's died down, and so now there's a bunch of people who haven't seen it.
So the cut that we got originally was a 7-minute cut, and the one that everybody's seen is the first 3 minutes of that cut. That's the most popular stuff, is in the first 3 minutes. The second 4 minutes is not as popular. I'm sure you could find it somewhere, but I thought, I just wanted to watch it for myself.
Yeah, we haven't seen
were
it for a while,
we
yeah.
haven't watched it for a while. There's some inside jokes in here too, like they have, don't know if it's an inside joke or they're trying to be funny, but their jokes are confusing, where they try to dress up as Jack Rebney and they try to...
The crew was, trying to imitate him, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
The people who worked on the actual promotional video made their own video of Jack, and I just left that in here.
Okay,
It's going to be confusing and weird, but yeah. So I ended it with the first 3 minutes, so you'll recognize this first one, but then everything else should be fairly new, maybe.
Okay.
The Mini Winnie, part of American tradition, and today on the cutting edge of design and function in a Class C motorhome. You believe any of that shit? Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Fuck the shit, man. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Fuck the shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Shit. Son of a bitch. Jesus Christ. Fuck off! Wait a minute. Look at the shot and see if it's off the back of my head. Could be off the back of my head, my brown head.
Well, where's it coming from? Wait a minute. Kevin, take a look and see if it isn't coming off my big brown head. See if it isn't coming off my big, fat, bald brown head.
Buggledy, 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 buggle. Turn of a baba schnabber rubber. But the
children.
See if I can remember what the hell the dialogue is.
Muttering.
Catch a shit bucket.
What the hell's the line?
Pa, shit.
Budjibar, that Budjibar, the Budjibar.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying.
Schmegeldaggle, what the fuck is it?
Schmegeldaggle.
Why don't I say it fucking right? Chicken
It's a long day for that lady.
I can't remember the goddamn line. There's French conchacho rata. Boy, that was good. I don't know what the fuck I'm reading. The accoutrement that you
always
will
have their
need.
arms around each
Accoutrement? What is that shit? If I knew what the rest of the line was, then I would be in good shape. It's like was shot at schmikish-bash. Tachi-sachi to the
Sachi.
It's a tough line to remember. It's amazing how I just babble. Yeah. Boom. Joni, how big are you now? Let it peter out. Make sure you get it up.
They're doing
Scratch
some
my 13-inch
audio editing.
You like it when I pick my nose that way? This is a test to see whether I'm totally senile or not. God, I can't fucking make my mind work. I don't know, shit, it's just all gone. I guess my mind is going again. I get so goddamn diuretic when I sit here. My mouth just never stops. My body is dismembered from my mind completely. Which is pretty average with me, but... Meat, innovation, money. My mind is just ready to go completely. I can't think. Something is wrong with me. And you'd think I was making this up as I was going along. I gotta read it again because my mind is just a piece of shit this morning. My mind isn't working enough to do this any better than it is. I was going bananas. The hell do I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
The whole mind is deteriorating.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna die.
So among the questions that you may be asked is, can I get this rig in and out of my driveway? Well, the answer is yes. The departure angle for the all-new 1989 Chieftain is exactly that of the 88 model.
Great, let's get a safety. Wait.
That's when you tear the ass end out of it going out of your driveway. like that.
The original edit.
Yeah, and I like that it shows that Jax has a sense of humor too about himself a little bit in that.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a fair edit.
Yeah, you see some cracks in the facade where he's laughing at himself.
Yeah, the most popular edit always just has just all the quick hits, and it really makes him look like an asshole. But like this
Jesus
edit
Christ,
was
yeah,
just,
yeah.
Hi, Marty.
Well, and if you want to see Winnebago Man, that's the full documentary about Jack.
Yeah, it has everything. Oh, I guess
Marty's coming up. All right.
Here. Okay.
Well, I got one more video to show you, and I think I showed one about training altar boys before.
Okay.
And I've just been kind of on a kick of how to train church people.
Okay.
Like I found this in the religious section. It's called Training the Parish Lector.
Okay.
And
you'll be ready to train people pretty soon.
I will. My dad was a lector. Were you too?
Yeah.
So this is the person in the church who reads the passage from the Bible, but doesn't like give the homily, which is like interpreting it. They're just reading it. So they'll it'll be like
homily is.
That's where like
you don't have to explain.
The priest explains what it means. Like it'll be like a letter from Paul to the Corinthians, and then the priest will come out afterwards and be like, what he meant by that. So, Marty.
Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about this, everybody.
All right.
Okay. So
I'm gonna give Marty a homily here.
All right. So, training the parish lector is. I think they tried to have a little bit of a sense of humor about it, but it really points out how just incredibly screwed up a lot of Bible passages are that they read in church.
Okay.
So here's training the parish lector.
Pronunciation.
Hang on, let me get to the beginning here.
First, pronunciation. A passage like this can be a lector's nightmare. Some fairly familiar words can easily become tongue twisters too. Colossians can become Galatians, and Judaizers can come out as Judaizers.
A reading from the letter of Paul to the Corinthians.
Corinthians.
A reading from the letter of Paul to the Philippines.
Philippians.
Caravans of camels shall fill you.
Wait, what did it say?
Dromedaries from...
There's nothing at the beginning.
Okay.
Philippians.
Caravans of camels shall fill you. Dromedaries from Midian and Ephah, all from Sheba shall come, bearing gold and frankenstein and myrrh.
Pretty good delivery. Pretty good delivery.
As the sun was about to set, a trance fell upon Abram, and a deep, terrifying darkness enveloped him. When the sun had set and it was dark, there appeared a flaming brazier and a...
Brazier. A flaming brazier.
As you just heard, you shouldn't just assume you're pronouncing a word correctly.
Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years, and Sarah had...
Oh, just a quick explanation of this part. They're talking about reading things. If you read things too fast without any emotion, it's not good. If you read things with too much emotion, it's not good. But in all the readings of this, they chose the most insane Bible passage as an example. They could have chosen anything.
Correctly.
Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years, and Sarah had stopped having her womanly periods. So Sarah laughed to herself and said, "Now that I am so withered and my husband is so old, am I still to have sexual pleasure?"
Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years, and Sarah had stopped having her womanly periods. So Sarah laughed to herself and said, "Now that I am so withered and my husband is so old,
this is the right
am I still to have sexual pleasure?"
Of course, there is always the danger of becoming overly dramatic.
I'll just step over here now.
Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years, and Sarah had stopped having her womanly periods. So Sarah laughed to herself and said, "Now that I am so withered and my husband is so old, am I still to have sexual pleasure?"
Why have that in the Bible in the first place? And then why choose that as an example? So
I thought that last one. I thought she nailed it. Like if I would go to church probably if she were reading like that.
They did say that it's more common that it's too dull. So they're like you almost can't over emote, but that might have. They said that might have gone
the Bible
too far.
had shit like that in it.
Yeah, womanly periods. I think that's pretty up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I might have to.
Yeah, it's got some pretty racy stuff.
I might have to give it a read.
Yeah.
All right. Last one here.
Okay.
So when we were in that documentary Winnebago Man, and we met the director, and he told us we'd been for so long. We've been watching that video for so long. We wanted to see the finished Winnebago video. Like, what was Jack working so hard on and toiling over? We saw the outtakes. We for like I don't know, like 10 years, we had never seen the actual finished video. We tried to find it. We called up Winnebago places to say that we were Winnebago salesmen. We wanted the video.
Tried all of our parlor tricks, but
the director Ben Steinbauer, he hooked us up, and it's actually pretty entertaining. So I put together some of the highlights from the actual finished Jack Rebney Winnebago Man video.
Okay.
And the full version is I think it's like 20 minutes long. This is like 2 minutes long.
It's very lofty, right? He's
like
at Winnebago Industries.
He's very like
great
Shakespearean.
ideas in motion.
I'd love to have that coin.
Year after year, decade after decade.
Meet innovation. Money. Innovation.
Some not catch it before.
And you. In the 31, 33, and 36-foot models, there's a unique storage area across the rear section. It gives nearly a full 5 feet of depth. There's room for golf clubs, bales of hay, grandchildren.
Pretty good.
I love that there's grandchildren, that there were children on the set.
A certain feeling of youthfulness about it.
Oh.
A feeling of
There's a feeling of youthfulness about it.
Take it from me, the old man in the short tie.
You know, the Sunflower has a certain feeling of youthfulness about it. A feeling of solidity, but of stylish solidity. New 3-point safety seat belts on both front seats offer a level of support and protection that really makes a difference. Would you show them, please? Thank you very much, young man. I'm happy to oblige. Works just like this. Just click. A Tasca Sunflower. The obvious answer. Be it for the customer who wants a driving machine, or for the customer who wants to take it all
couple with arms
along,
around each other,
including the kitchen sink.
Help! Let us out!
They forgot the dog.
So they're a negligent pet-owning family. They don't deserve the new Itasca.
And off they drive into the forest.
Where are they going?
There's not a road there.
No.
Oh.
Itasca Sunflower. We didn't miss a thing.
Except the dog. Wow.
Goddamn
powerful.
right, Jack Rebney.
I know people ask about Jack, how he's doing. I talked to him maybe a year ago because we were airing some of his footage on True TV. And I was talking to him, and he was so nice. And he's like, of course, use whatever you want. And then he asked me how I was doing.
Yeah.
And I think the election had just happened, so as soon as Donald Trump's name brought up, old Jack came out. He was like, that son of a bitch, he's a monster, goddamn animal, and he just went right back into classic Jack Rebney.
I talked to somebody who, last weekend in Arlington, I don't know if they were reporters or but they had talked to Jack before, and they said that right now he's really mad at CNN, which I didn't, then I was like, oh, maybe he switched sides, or I don't know.
I don't think so.
Hates...
Yeah, he just distrusts the media, but he hates politicians.
I think he hates a lot of things.
Yeah. I think
like when we first met him, he just talked about Dick Cheney the entire time.
Well, that's what makes Jack Jack. He hates most things. So,
and so our buddy Ben did a follow-up recently where he met Jack for, I don't know what it was, his 85th birthday or something like that. And he has that video, and I'm thinking we'll just save that until Ben comes on the show.
Oh, that'd be great. He's coming out, I guess.
Yeah, he's coming out.
We'll
pre-tape something we'll tape something with him.
Okay.
And
we have a Halloween episode next week, so tune in for that Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And we have one thing to go out
One
on?
last thing. So somebody brought this up, I think on the, what do we call them, message boards? On the message boards.
Yeah. On alt.tv.foundfootage.
Yeah, so the song for Joe's Tedium Corner, it's a hot song, it's a hot hit. It's also the same song for Nick's Vegan Corner with Joe.
Oh, fun fact.
Yeah. And it comes from this cassette tape here. Somebody was asking, they were like, I want to hear the full song of that.
Yeah, they thought it was called Jack It Up or...
Crank It Up. Well, that's
thought,
what they...
Yeah, they thought it was something different. But...
Well, the name of the album, it's on an album called Power Moves 1992. And it's actually put out by GTE, the Yellow Pages company. And they have all the lyrics on the inside flap here. Like, look at this thing. They have 4 songs on here. And, yeah, all the lyrics are right here, too. And I can't remember which thrift store we got it at, but bought it instantly.
Yeah.
And all the songs are incredibly, like, they're exactly like that. But then we had theories about, like, what is this actual song? And we think it's for, like, salespeople, for... we're selling Yellow Pages ads, and this was their song to like motivate them or something. Like every year they would do a new song to motivate the sales staff.
Right.
So they have one song on here called Book It to Bangkok, and we're thinking, oh, they probably had like a retreat in Bangkok one year. So they're like, oh, we're going to
my dad used to manage a sales team, and they would be like, if you are one of the top 10 salespeople, you'll get a free trip to Hawaii. And they would announce, at the conference, we're going to Hawaii this year, and they'd have some, luau girls or people hula dancers to announce it. I think that's what this is like, hey, we're going to book it to Bangkok. They did it at the conference.
Okay.
So, but
yeah. So I queued it up. I have a Walkman over here. I got to switch out some stuff, but I'm going to play that. I'm going to play it in its entirety. It's 2 minutes long as we do our credits. And I'm going to play some baseball bloopers, because just for Steve.
Right.
Steve
his team's playing now, but
Steve's missing the World Series, and this is baseball laughs, gaffes, and goofs. So you'll see the video from this, but you'll hear the music from Power Moves 1992. Crank It Up. 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
Oh, and I want to mention, we'll put an MP3 of Crank It Up on Patreon too. If you're a Patreon backer at patreon.com.
Oh yeah, we'll put the whole album up.
Okay, we'll put the whole album so you can download it, use something as your ringtone. And Marty has fallen asleep and has been snoring into my microphone for the last probably 10 minutes. So he's waving goodbye.
Okay.
And should I press play?
Yep, hit play, and I'm hitting play.
All right, good night. We'll see you next time.
That's the only way to be GTEDC. Crank it up. Crank it to the streets. You know what you've got to do. You've got to crank it up.